83. Forever Gurik. My dearest Gurik, as I write these words to you on 17 July 2024, my heart is shattered into a million pieces. Yet, my love for you remains whole and unbroken. You were a radiant soul who illuminated the world with your presence. Your life was a canvas of creativity, a masterpiece of self-expression, and a testament to the strength of your spirit. My dearest Gurik, I know that your journey was not an easy one. The scars of your childhood ran deep, and the pain of rejection was a constant companion. But despite the challenges you faced, I remember you with a gentle soul and a heart full of love and compassion. Your artistic expression was a reflection of your inner beauty, a manifestation of the creativity that flowed through your very being. I have always admired you for the person you chose to be, Gurik. Your courage to be yourself, to defy convention, and to embrace your individuality was a beacon of hope in a world that often seeks to conform. Your heart may have been broken many times, but I remember you with a heart of gold, always ready to love and to give. My dear son, I want you to know that I love you more than my words can express. I am honored to have been your mother, to have shared in your journey, and to have witnessed your growth. I am grateful for the time we had together, and I cherish the many beautiful memories we created. I acknowledge the soul contract we shared and the life lessons we chose to explore together. I salute your courage in walking a challenging path, and I honor your growth and resilience. As you transition to the other side, I want you to know that you are free now. Free to soar on the wings of angels, free to dance among the stars, and free to shine your light for all to see. You are home, my dearest Gurik, and you are at peace. My beloved son, my firstborn, I will carry you in my heart always. You will never be forgotten, and your memory will live on through me. Rest in peace, my dear child. Rest in peace. May your journey be guided by love, and may your spirit continue to inspire and uplift all those who know you. I love you, my son. I will always love you. The mirror lay shattered, its silvered glass splintered into 1,000 shards. Each shard reflected a fractured piece of my soul, like a prism's scattered facets. Light refracted through the prism, exploding into a kaleidoscope of colors, vibrant reds, blues, and greens. Each color represented a different aspect of my identity. but I was utterly unable to merge them into a unified whole. The fragments felt like razor-sharp glass, cutting my heart. As I reflected on this inner turmoil, my broken mother's heart overwhelmingly took dominance. Memories and emotions flooded my heart, unleashing strong emotions that shattered and overpowered me. I recalled my journey with Keurig, tracing every step, every crossroads we'd reached. Each crossroads led us closer to the inevitable. I had respected his boundary and accepted his choice of no contact. I never wanted to repeat Henny's legacy of forcing himself on others, manipulating and controlling them. I didn't want to stifle Geurig's growth or independence. I thought if I couldn't bring out the best in him, our relationship would be meaningless. I had opted out of the fights, ugly words, pressure, hurt, and pain that would have defined our relationship. My principles and values, forged and tempered during my Oudtshoorn years, had become unshakable. I couldn't imagine surrendering my truth and voice to meet forceful expectations. In 2019, through my divorce, I emerged radiant, ecstatically happy, liberated, and empowered. Though the journey exacted a steep price, I triumphantly claimed my freedom and authentic voice. Hard-won lessons, forged in fire, now illuminate my path. Compromising my values to appease Keurig would have buried me under the crushing weight of judgment and criticism, silencing my soul. Instead, I chose courage, reclaiming my authentic self, scars, imperfections, and all. It was a conundrum, an impossible choice. Internally torn between fragmented personalities, each vying for dominance, I knew upholding my values would have made Keurig and me irreconcilable. Until 16 July 2024, I had carefully weighed the potential consequences, aware of the accountability that might follow. I had prepared myself for various eventualities, envisioning worst-case scenarios to steel my resolve. I had imagined car crashes, fatal accidents, and severe illnesses, but suicide had remained an unthinkable possibility. One shattered reflection of the prism consoled me. Keurig's passing was a deliberate choice, not shaped by forces beyond his conscious control. He elected to end his life. It was a voluntary decision, free from external coercion. Another reflection posed that Keurig's struggles were shrouded in secrecy, his cries for help going unheard. Isolated and without a lifeline, he wrestled with unbearable pain, his inner turmoil escalating until the weight of his suffering became too great to bear. Shattered questions lingered. Could I have saved him from his desperate escape? Or would our complicated past have exacerbated his pain, pushing him beyond what he could endure? And then another shattered reflection. The release. A weight lifted. I'm finally free from worrying about Curie. My inner dialogue, now silenced, used to echo. Is Curie okay? Is he happy? Yes, of course he is. He's thriving, living his dream as a celebrated artist in Riebeek West. Without me, the best gift I can give him and Esther Marie is my own freedom, irrespective of whether they're present or not. My focus is on becoming the best version I can be. Another shattered fragment. The adoption theme continues to haunt me, marked by fruitless struggles to form lasting bonds with my children. Both my children had distanced themselves, echoing my own decision to keep Mom Doreen at arm's length. I had invested exclusively in my relationship with Albie. Now, the unimaginable has occurred. My son has taken his own life. A day after Curie's passing, a 1-hour-long call from Europe had unleashed a brutal and merciless verbal assault on me as a mother. Scathing words had ravaged my character, integrity, and truth with contemptuous disrespect. Reeling from the pain, I had stood resolute, my voice steady and unwavering. Yet, inside, I had shattered into a million pieces. The chasm between us had gaped wider, deepening into an infinite dark expanse, a seemingly bottomless void with no boundaries and no end. The call had felt like a final, crushing blow. Dealing with its aftermath had been almost worse than coping with Curie's death. It had added to my shock and trauma. I had already lost one child to the afterlife, and within hours I had lost the other to the world. The weight of this dual loss had threatened to consume me, leaving me gasping for air in a sea of unrelenting grief. The hauntingly familiar questions swirl. What's the purpose of these fractured relationships? Is it a legacy of hurt, a cycle of rejection, or an opportunity for soul growth? Another shattered fragment. Esther Marie had shared with me, shortly after our visit to Europe, the profound moment when she had phoned Curie and offered a heartfelt, sincere apology for the pain she had inflicted upon him during their childhood. She had recounted the immense emotion they had shared and how they had both wept tears of tremendous release. I had found profound solace in the thought that the trauma of their childhood, once a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, had been overcome. Against all odds, they had found forgiveness, healing, and unconditional love. my own pain, stemming from being excluded from their reunion and witnessing the rebirth of their relationship from afar, had paled in comparison to the relief that they had embarked on a poignant journey of redemption. Yet now I found myself torn asunder in a sea of intense pain and longing. How I yearned to have had a unified experience with both my children, to have been part of a bond where the three of us enjoyed an immense relationship, a mother and her two children, happy, engaging, laughing, sharing, making memories. And also the agonizing thought, why hadn't he reached out to Esther Marie at the end? I have no way of knowing what their relationship was like right at the end of his life. I am only left with a gaping hole of secrecy, exclusion, and uncertainty. Then, yet another shattered fragment. Grace, my constant companion, heals my deepest wounds with infinite love and compassion. As gratitude swells, abundance gently overflows, nurturing my soul. In this realm of grace, life's clarity reveals itself. Both my children have forged their unique paths, and I respect their choices, acknowledging their autonomy. I release control, focusing on my own journey, trusting that they'll navigate theirs. The deepest truth resonates within me. If given the choice, I'd still choose this life, trials and triumphs alike, for a mystical certainty fills my soul. I've experienced undeniable miracles woven into my journey by a force beyond human comprehension. I've witnessed, lived through, and marveled at these divine moments. As I embody this truth, the eternal refrain echoes within. All is well with your soul. It is as it should be. The urge to reassemble the past dissolves, surrendering to the solace of acceptance, freeing me from the weight of what could have been. With an open and willing heart, I consecrate a sacred vow to surrender unconditionally to the divine presence that resides within me, to wholeheartedly trust its tender whispers, its comforting presence, and its radiant light. These sacred whispers guide me forward with prophetic cadence, illuminating the mysteries of my journey. In the sacred geometry of an open heart, in the depths of my sorrow, with the unbearable weight of loss, divinity draws near. On 19 July 2024, I receive a surprise call from one of Curie's closest friends. Despite over 5 years of silence, I instantaneously recall our shared laughter and camaraderie. In this singular moment, our connection feels timeless. The friend's words unfold like a sacred scroll. A brief pause settles in as we both struggle to contain our tears, the shared weight of grief and sorrow resonating deeply across the distance. Elmarie, with your open heart and mind, I feel comfortable sharing this intimate experience. Yesterday morning, I woke up with a vivid, heartfelt knowing that Gurik's spirit was with me. My mind reels. Familiarity washes over me. Gooseflesh, rapid heartbeat, anticipation. The moment turns sacred, heavy with expectation, as if divinity pauses, poised on the cusp of revelation. And he said to me, "Please don't burden my journey forward with your tears." The tears well up, a dam fast filling within me. I struggle to bear the weight of Gurik's words, yet his presence envelops me, comforting and close. He's here. I feel him. And please, search for my mom, find her, and make contact with her. My heart skips a beat, shocked by Gurik's request. My throat constricts, breath caught, numbness spreads. What's coming? Tell her that I'm sorry. I see now where I had been stubborn and made foolish choices. I was so short-sighted. My waters break, flooding me. Scalding tears burst forth from my desecrated chest. My womb contracts in spasms as I give birth to forgiveness's cathartic flood. And I'm deeply sorry for the pain I've caused her. Gurik's vulnerable words sweep me away in a sea of sadness and longing. I'm riding a riptide of primal emotions, tossed between jagged rocks of regret and undertows of longing. In this transcendent instant, divine grace gathers my shattered fragments, transmuting them beyond mortal comprehension. With celestial might, she scatters the shards across starry expanses, kindling a stellar nursery within my soul. Gurik's cosmic DNA merges, and a radiant newborn star is birthed. It shines resplendent, illuminating my inner skies with brilliant light. Tears of mutual sorrow transform into stardust. It dazzles with forgiveness, love, and victory, refracting rainbow hues across the heavens of my soul. My beloved Gurik, as you journey on, remember, I love you beyond the farthest star. You are strong, brave, and forever free. Go forth, shine bright, and shatter the scars of the past. I shall not burden your path with my tears. I've set you free from my anguish and fears. I see now how unselfishly you gave your life as a gift to me and all who are bound in a box. Forever and always, my sun, my shining light, may you soar to infinity, aglow with love and ever so bright. Mom.